Hello everyone, and welcome to another Heartwell dev stream, the live stream series where I continue to develop this adorable Souls-like action RPG with platform mechanics and branching narrative. And if you find these streams interesting or helpful, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and boot that bell button to stay notified. Now, of course, past couple of streams we've been working on a damage calculation rework involving the Cobras, and I feel like tonight we're probably going to make some good progress because while I was off stream, I ended up doing quite a bit of documentation to make these calculations easier to implement. For example, a little bit of color coding here to detail some of the more complex equations, but more importantly, getting all the values I needed from previous stream in order to actually formally write out our calculation, so I needed this information. And lastly, I did actually manage to fully implement, well, not fully implement, I did manage to put in some of the detailed, yeah, this nightmare right here is the damage calculations for the melee attacks, with build-up included and everything. However, this is only one part of it. So basically what this is saying is we attacked the Cobra, this information gets sent to the intermediate object, then the intermediate object performs its calculations. So we're at like that step, but now we need to make a line of code that subtracts like the information that's calculated here from the Cobra's actual stats, or actual max health, things like that, etc. Also, welcome Copper Nicholson, welcome Davos, thank you both so much for dropping by. How's it going? Going well, Copper Nicholson. I have no idea what you're talking about, Copper Nicholson. You'll have the overly complicated equation to melee combat. You know what's funny about that, Davos? The thing is, these calculations you see here are actually quite a bit less complicated than the previous iteration. So, for context, this is what you sort of like to transfer data to other things, and there was like an entire separate set of equations just for calculations that we don't have to spit it back out over this way. But now it's this comparatively is quite a bit simplified. And I've even like detailed how it's broken apart. So if in the future, actually not if, well, like when in the future when this needs to be adjusted, if and when, I have a much easier time deciphering that. Regardless though, I intend, my goal for tonight is to try and see if this calculation process actually works correctly. What I mean by that is we're going to replace this line you see here. This is the line that used to actually like write the values for the particular Cobra to what's calculated here. So we're going to basically make a new version of this and go from there. So that ideally, if we did everything correctly, we'll actually be able to use this new process and to have damage calculated independently for all the different Cobras. That's the theory anyway. Let's see if we can put that theory into practice. So first thing I'm going to do, bring this line up here since it is a Cobra melee damage taken. And we shall call this line, group of events, Cobra melee damage taken V2. Which we'll make sure is not active at the start. And we'll use this as like sort of our playground to try and make this work. There has been the rest of the night. Alright. Well, what I would say, Copper Nicholson, is, well, first, make sure you get something to eat. You know, you don't want to work on an empty stomach. Once you get some food to eat, you know, catch up on some cover letters, and once you caught up a bit on cover letters, then you can, you know, give yourself some fun time. Whether that's, you know, writing D&D stories or things of that nature. But just, you know, it all has to be a balance. So, you have to regroup. v2. So in the previous iteration, this would activate a group. So let's copy that. Sample bash one interruptible. I did not include that, did I? Okay. Audio, it's important. Oh, wait, I'm being dumb. I am being dumb. This should go into... Okay, I think I see what we got here. So this line should actually go up here. Boop. Oh, did that? Oh, don't tell me I deleted something. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. Dude, it's important to eat. And you're thinking about this the wrong way, Copper. It's not the amount of food you're eating at a specific time. You gotta eat 3 meals a day, bud. If you're not eating 3 meals a day, you gotta head back into it, or else you're just going to have periods where you have super low energy because you don't have enough, enough fuel in you to do stuff. Yeah, it's probably because you're hungry, dude. Go eat. Alright, so we'll have that. We'll actually move this line into down here. So... Oh. So... First line, of course, is all of our fun calculation stuff. Second line will be our... thingy for actually dealing the damage. How did we structure this before? His damage recently is on. Okay. So that should be the same. We're gonna get rid of that value. That's basically saying if the calculation's finished. So let's first see if we have. Did I have a flag for that? Let's find out. Critical hit, no. That is melee damage calculation needed. Okay. Okey-doke. Yep, it's important to stick to a schedule. Copper nipples and routine's important. All right, so we delete that. Okay, so right value health to okay, I think that's okay. That's just our own health, I think. Yeah. Create the damage counter. Set the counter to... Okay, that's gonna be a little bit different. So after retrieving this data from there, we should change the downer to... What this is saying is we're displaying the actual damage taken. Total melee damage dealt. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. That bots. I mean, to be fair, we were listening to this during like one of the more wintry months. And I actually thought it sounded pretty fun, so that's why I had this song on the playlist. It's a silly little song, but it's fun. Very, very atmospheric. By the way, that bots, it has been a while. So what have you been up to as of late? So I mean, I've been quite busy with Heartwell, and now we have a new challenge run stream in Chelsea Cold Steel 2, which has been very, very fun so far. But I'm curious to hear what you've been up to, that box. All right. So now we're saying the different build-up values. So we'll set the build-up value to the value of why is it? Right. I do have to make sure it's a string though, so. You're just on about school though. I'll have inspired this time around. Oh, nice, that Fox, nice. I remember I somewhat remember my time as a junior in high school. So 11th grade. That was, that was a pretty fun time. Pretty fun time. It keeps me at ease, Copper Nipples. It keeps me at ease. Hey, Navlog, thanks for dropping by. How you been? Welcome, welcome. Right now, we are in the midst of damage calculation land. I'm really excited tonight because if we can get the melee haste calcs working, then that means we can probably get the range calculations working. If we get both of those working, then that's a massive accomplishment. But of course, we need to get there first and see if our little test works. So, okay. $200. Oop. What's my damage formula like? Great question, Antomicx. Multi-step, but that's the T bit of code right here. So the idea is that I have to run this 8 times with all the different damage types after doing calculations that look kind of like this. And using all these variables and lots of variables, and the thing that looks like this. So send the data to the intermediate objects, do the thing, run the thing. It's a whole thing. So Copper Nicholson, the thing you have to understand is I specifically choose music that is that's copyright free to play in the background, so that way there's no, like, you know, issues with music like that on YouTube. That's why I have heads of this particular playlist, Copper Nicholson. Antomicx asked, can I not make a function for these, then call the function 8 times? The thing is, Antomicx, functions as a concept doesn't exist, but in this particular software, but the idea of it can still be implemented. And this thing I'm implementing is very much a functional format. So basically, I'm sending the data to a central hub. Central hub performs a calculation, which is, you know, its own thing. Then the calculation gets gets returned, shall we say, to the objects that originally called the function. Well, no, it's not like so the thing is, like, I can't create a function like that, but what I can do is I can create an active object or a line of code that acts as the function. I just need somewhere to store the variable information. Because one of the limitations here is that I can't do too much more than this in a single line. Like, if I could, I would just make one giant function and let it go. But because there's just too many variables for this thing to compile, I have to break it apart like this. Yep, it's happening. It's not terrible. It really isn't. Like, it's more so just it's time consuming to set up, but once it's set up, it's very, very robust. Yeah. Well, Copper Nicholson, if you want to listen to licensed music, you're free to search the internet on your own time, dude. That's up to you. It really isn't terrible, Antomicx. Like, this is just me navigating in the software that I'm most familiar with. So, as with anything, different softwares, different programming languages have different benefits and drawbacks. And I don't consider this necessarily a benefit or a drawback. I consider it just more of like a different way of showing the functions or handling the functions. It still accomplishes the same thing. It's just, it's not needlessly overcomplicated in my view. Riptide and Frostbite. All right, next. So all of these. I don't see much need for all of these counters, because we're not really using those anymore. Part of the rework was to get rid of these counters, because that's just a lot of unnecessary objects, I think. Delete, 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 delete. All right. Now for the important line, which is where we actually subtract, like, the damage dealt. subtracting. Total melee damage dealt from current HP. As for, we'll set the physical resistance to... Is there a physical resistance thing here? We don't have to do a calc for that. Okay. Actually, wait, no. I take it back. I designed the calculations this way so that the max physical resistance doesn't have to change, and it takes care for that in the damage calculations thanks to the fault line buildup. So that can stay the same. So in fact, since the damage resistances are staying the same, these are actually unnecessary lines, since we're not actually altering their damage resistances anymore. We're just doing that in the middle of the calculation. So that's an optimization right there. So boop, 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 boop. Set that off, good. Set that off. Set that off. We will also need to insert... set off. Actually, wait. Okay, so that's set off. That has to be set off. Okay. Oh, you're recently downloaded Godot to try to make a game. Not sure how far you're going to get with it. I would highly encourage you to reach out to Rektor if you want some advice on Godot, because he used it for quite a bit. I forgot if Rektor is still using that to develop the game he's working on, but he used it for quite a bit, so he might have some insights on that. I don't think I've ever had that, Copper Nicholson. I enjoy Yoda. Dan Call the Rain, not so much. Having half a brain, no, I'm pretty sure my brain is normal sized. Alright, so create that there. Current HP divided by that. Yep. Then alterable variable K to I see now. I see. Yeah. Oh. By the way, what kind of game are you trying to develop? I'd be interested to hear a bit more. Advisor. So I think. Right. So. Pretty sure this code down here is now irrelevant, like this section here. Like, we still need this because we're saving the HP of the player for some particular reason. But the rest of it, I don't think we'll need. Okie doke. Alright, chat. It's gonna be testing time, as they say. A little nervous, but at the same time, this is a very necessary step. So... Oh, you're trying to make a roguelike, you think. Puzzle game was set in choice, but roguelike slightly won out in how easy it would seem to develop. Okay, fair enough, Nightwalk. Do you have, like, have you written out some of, like, your ideas for the game, how it's going to be structured, things like that? Because I do find, I mean, as this is probably a testament to right here, writing is extremely useful when developing any kind of large video game project. Okay. Well, chat, It's time for some moment of truth. Right your ears in case this messes up, because if it does mess up, it's just gonna make a lot of noises and there'll be sadness. But if it doesn't mess up, then there'll be happiness. So, just, trying to bake these things out is hard because the... well, I'd highly encourage you now to, like, make a Doodle document or a Word document or something and use that as, like, a place to write ideas and notes about the game. Because, trust me, that'll help you a lot in the long run. The more detail you can write about describing how your game works or its lore, things like that, the easier it will be to develop. Anyway. That is incorrect, but I'm not sure if that's just a problem with that Cobra or a problem with everything. Okay, that is very much incorrect. So, I think I know what's going on. It's hitting 588 every time. I'm allowed 700, so... Oh, I am dumb. I am very dumb. I realized something. Well, a couple of things. First, that ID check has to be off. If that ID check is on, then it's going to cause a problem. So, man. But the next thing I realized is I forgot to reset everything here to 0 after the information is detailed. So, okay, so what variables was it running again? Okay, so critical hit, melee damage bonus, all the build-up values, total melee damage dealt. Yeah, okay. Okay, so, man. Build up. Prospect build up. Alright, let's try that. Right. The respawn mechanics aren't quite working yet, so... dear. Oh! There's only one way I know how to fix this. Attack me! Attack me! Come on, rattlesnakes. So that respawns a different problem, but we'll get to that eventually. But for now, you're not exactly sure how to hit the themes of the thing. Vaguely fantasy spells and slides. Okay, so, Ninelock, first question. When you're saying themes, do you mean like the story morals? Do you mean like the music? Do you mean just like the aesthetic of it or the setting? I'm guessing you mean like the setting. Alright, so let's did it work? Okay, it's sort of working. 1 second. 1 second. Chat, look at that! Look at that! Independent damage! Independent damage! I mean, the number isn't quite right, so clearly there's something not quite right in the damage calculation. But otherwise, no, come back. Otherwise, you know, we're on the right track. We're finally on the right track. You mean just saying, and that stories will come. Okay. So, 9 luck. You want to know something about Heartwell? Hell, that might surprise you. When I first started making Heartwell, I had no idea what the setting would be. Okay, so the number that was supposed to come out is 20. Instead, it came out 21. So I'm guessing probably somewhere in like the bonus section is something weird is happening. That would be my guess. So we'll have to just isolate the equations to figure that out. I'm going to guess it'll be a similar story if I use the axe, so 1 second. Alright, so 84. Why is it doing an extra 10? It seems to be doing an extra 10% of damage. I wonder if it has something to do with like burn or fault line. Because that could easily be the problem. Regardless. The point is, rounding error? Maybe. I mean, anime game? I mean, I'm not Japanese, so I guess not Copper Nicholson. I mean, it certainly has its inspirations from anime in that genre, but it's not, I don't know. I'd say probably not. It'll certainly met. Oh, I see you're making a reference. Anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. So when I was first started developing Heartwell, none of this was here. There were just basically a bunch of rectangles is all I had to work with. We didn't even have like stone steps or anything. It's when I started to basically write about what I was interested in doing with the game, and like once the game started to take focus in terms of the mechanics of the game, I started to get ideas for like a character, which led to, you know, a new setting, which led to a story, and it just built upon itself. So Dorothy Heartwell was not a character, or even an idea in my mind when I first started making this game. How about a Diva weapon? So the thing is, I do know something that does increase damage by 10%, and that is there's a pretty easy way we can test this. Yeah, this. I have a feeling it's this, and the easiest way to test that is just to set that to 0 and then test it like that. So I may be completely incorrect about this, but we'll find out. Okay, so it's not that. Never mind. We will have to investigate then. It should not be 21, it should be 20. Actually, you know what? Just to double check, let's attack the rattlesnakes here, since I know those should have the proper calculations. So, oops. Okay, yeah, calculation is correct, so it's something else. So it's either 0 or 200. Large numbers work too well. No, it's not the Yeah, it's a 5% plus. Made it in terms of values. You know, good call to check. Good call to check. Let's look that over. No, I'm not seeing anything like that. Everything seems to be. Wait a minute. I wonder if it's this. I'm just going to attempt to set this to. This might lead to nothing, but I'm going to. You never know. We should check. We should check. Okay, that had nothing to do with it. Never mind. Okay, so it definitely has to be somewhere in the equation then. Yep, it was good to check the factors, but I definitely think it has something to do with the way the equations are in. So, oh boy, here we go. Let's see. Where would be like a 5% something? I do wonder if it's... I wonder if it's this somehow. Okay, so what we'll do... Unless... Maybe it's this? I think it might be this. There's a very easy way to test this. If it is this, then if I do something crazy like this, it will significantly increase the damage taken. Okay, it's not that. Or at least I don't think it is. Let's set this to 1,000. But yeah, now the point I'm trying to get across is, you know, start developing like the basic mechanics of your game, and if you get like any kind of vague idea, just have a brainstorming session, like a Word document or something. Like write down all your ideas that, you know, even remotely interest you, and then see if anything like clicks with you can build off it. And... oh dear. I really have to set these things down to 0 just for testing purposes. Alright, so it's not that, I don't think. Alright, my next test is that it has something to do with these. So, I'll copy these down here real quick. Delete those. See what happens. Alright. So... okay, that didn't fix it either. Did I delete them? Yeah, I did. Okay. So it's... okay, we can roll out those lines at least. What else could it be? So, it's probably something in here then, or over here. But I don't... it's not a critical hit. I don't think. Actually, we have no way of knowing if it is a critical hit. What's the critical hit rate on this? 150%. I wonder. Going to attempt something. We'll see if it fits us anything or not. Probably not, but we'll try. I realize we have no way of telling if it's a critical hit right now because I didn't program that in yet. So, if it's a critical hit issue, then that's something we can bound and figure out. That's what it was! It was an issue with critical hit chance and things like that. Alright. So... So something's not quite correct with the critical hit. But the question is, what? Well, I'm glad we've at least found it. Thanks, Nylock, I appreciate it. But yeah, so Nylock, if you have the time to work on, your game tonight, and you get to a point where you don't feel like programming something or testing something out in Godot, I'd highly recommend you just add a Word document and write some stuff out and see where it gets you. And if you want some advice on how to do that, whether it's world building or just idea generation, I'm always available as a resource. I really enjoy watching hearing about other people's game development projects and seeing how they progress. It's a lot of fun. And also, it's cool to be able to give advice that I wish I had when I was much younger, looking at like all these fun Flash games and wanting to make them myself and having no idea where to start, So, something's wrong with the critical hit check. Or I think it's actually probably here. So, something's wrong with this. Wait. Inbound surge build up 1,000. I need a set of counter to be what is critical hit melee, so I can at least see what that is. Okay, do I have some extra counters that I'm not really using? I think I should. Okay. Aha! Okay, we can use that as our counter. That is Catalyst Ice. That one. Have a personal connection with your Warlock patron. They come up with an idea while you're at the gym today. Okay, so is the Warlock's patron going to be a friendly genie of some sorts? I just need to understand the context of what a patron for a Warlock is in the first place. Like, what is a patron supposed to be for a Warlock? Is it like some kind of deity or mystical creature that's connected to them? Alright, so what I will do in this line, I will insert some code. Relation ice, Talus ice counter. So not setting it to 0. We're going to set the counter. To is actually I have an idea. So what we'll do. Cancel. We'll set to that. And then we'll set this to the ice counter. Okay. It's just basically a powerful creature that grants of its power to a Warlock. Okay. Alright, Copper Nicholson. Then what I would probably say is, if you want to form a connection with the patron, basically make the patron like maybe... The patron needs to have some kind of relationship with the Warlock in this case. And I don't necessarily mean like romantic or anything. Just think of it like... In the case of Aladdin, Aladdin freed the genie, so the genie gave him wishes. So you could do something like that. You could maybe be it like something like maybe the patron was alone and you became its friend. Or maybe you helped the patron do something in the past and they decided to grant some powers to like help watch over you. Or perhaps maybe there was like a familial figure that's asked the patron to watch over you, give you powers, things like that. Or like it's a family line. So there's a lot of different ways you could do this. But the point is, like, make sure there's some kind of character connection with them. If they do it like that, I think you'll find it a lot easier to develop. Alright. So what I've done, chat, is this counter right here, where my cursor is hovering over, that is going to change to whatever the critical hit value is that we set when we damage the Cobra. And this will hopefully give us some better context for what's going on. It's 0. Is it 0? Out here. One moment. Wait a minute. I wonder if I set this to a min. No, that wouldn't make any sense. Actually, what is my value there? That's the critical hit chance. Should be 0. Alright, fair enough, Trump Nicholson. Well, I'd say Copper Nicholson, make it like maybe either a friendship or a mutualistic thing. Something where like you're benefiting the patron, but the patron's also benefiting you, and like you need it, like either want to be with each other or need to be with each other for some reason. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly set the damage of these cobras to 0, just to make it easier to test this. So we're paying attention to this little counter there. That should not be damaging us. Actually, what is creating that? Oh, that would explain it. Alright, we'll have to adjust it from the rattlesnake. That's a different aside. We'll have to change that. Okay. I'll write the note here. Create, make, create an alterable value for the melee damage swipe object, such that the damage dealt by the melee swipe is dependent on the enemy creating the melee swipe, i.e. make it so that rattlesnakes and cobras can use the same damage swipe object, but deal different amounts of damage to Dorothy, to the player. Fits bug. I know what's happening. So before I made the Cobra in full, the rattlesnake was the only melee enemy, so I didn't even consider the need to like have a variable tied to that melee swipe. It's not a it's really, I don't think it's that difficult of a fix. It's just yep, I thought so. So as you can see, chat, it says 170 because that's the damage that the rattle is actually doing, but the actual well, should be doing, but the damage that is actually being dealt to us is tied to the melee swipe, which currently only is set to be set by the rattlesnakes. So that's why we end up in situations like this. The plus side is that this will make testing a lot easier, so let's go for, alright, 7-7 something. Something else is saying that's a 0, so think what I'll do. Until we really use the aura stat counter for anything, so we'll set that value instead. So I think something's forcing it to 0, and that's not being very helpful. Oh, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Well, all kinds of classes in Dungeons & Dragons: Copperneckle Sin, monks, rogues, paladins, druids, wide variety. Warriors. That still deals damage though. Working exactly as intended, as they say. Except this is not a Nintendo game. Alright. So, doing 20 now. Alright, it's saying instantly set back to 0 now. I'm wondering, is something else forcing that? Am I being dumb? I'm not a paladin, Copper. You're asking the paladin. I have no idea, Copper Nicholson. Okay. So that's 21. Does the aura counter do anything? No. Oh, I see. That's why it's two staying set to 0. 1 second. This gives a much better indication. So far, Copper Nicholson, we haven't had to go into great detail about discussing each other's feats, so... Anyway. 872, okay. 494. Alright, so these aren't... The thing is, these are not critical hits. Like, that's not exceeding 1,000. It needs to exceed 1,000 for it to actually be a critical hit. And yet... And yet, we're still getting 21 damage. Alright, let's see if I can get like a super low roll just to further test this out. Oh, cool, Dr. Nicholson, cool. I want a low roll. Dang, this is like a 1 in 10 chance. Come on. Alright, lower. Oh, that sounds very useful, Dr. Nicholson. Alright, well, regardless of Daniel, how about saying the rule to always roll 1,000 for testing? Yep, good idea. I didn't even consider that, but you're right, Daniel. That would be useful. Just to make sure. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, no, that's not the right. Sorry. I thought I was onto something, but I realized that's not the correct. Never mind. Interesting. Interesting. So it's over 1,000, but it's not doing the extra damage that it should. Fascinating. Okay. Okay. I wonder why. If I did random 1,000.0, it will work. Actually, I can multiply this all by 1.0. That would, I think, maybe solve the problem. Because the thing about this counter is it should be returning like a 0 or just a number that's greater than 0. This could be a simple case of not having the right number of digits to do a double division, as opposed to an integer division. Chat, I think we found it. I think we found it. It was a question of ints versus doubles, chat. Ints versus doubles. Notice how it's saying 0. But if we set this to, you know, 1,000 plus, then what should happen is this should always be doing 21. That, of course, brings up a completely different problem, which is why isn't the damage multipliers for the critical hit working correctly? I think I know where that one probably lies. It's just going to be a question of, yep, there that is. And as an add test, we can make this a coin flip, so we make this 500. I see a copper knuckles. It makes sense, makes sense. Alright, let's try this out. So, normal attack, not crit. That one was a crit, did 21. Okay, crits are working now. Well, at least the check for crits are working. Now, the real thing we need to check is not so much this, because that works now. Now the question is the way we're calculating our crit damage. Alright, let's take a look at our damage count here. 1,000 plus critical hit. Oh, this might... Yep. I think I see it. I think this is once again a situation of forgetting to multiply by ints. Let's at least attempt that to see if that solves anything. Actually, wait, we can't even do that because we need to... I need to guarantee that this is a crit so that we can test it out. So the thing is, it should be a crit mult of 50%, or 1.5x. Okay, so it's not that. No. Let's take another look. You were saying something. I unlocked let's say it's a 0.1% bonus times the value of that cell. Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to figure out where the 0.1's coming from. Since I think it's... Yeah, it's coming from the critical hit somewhere. So it's gotta be here. What I think we should do, chat, let's return this value here. This value, 25 to save file number. Just to see what we're dealing with here. Since that, I think that might be the driving factor here. Alright. Set critical hit to that. We're going to fix this equation since we know this is working now. Boop. And instead, we will set this counter to a value at 25. I've got the distinct feeling that's probably the issue here. Okay. So right now we're at we're going to be guaranteeing crits, so 1,000 plus that. Yeah. So no, 1,000 plus 1,000, 9 lot. Sorry, 1,000 divided by 1,000 would just be a. It's a multiplier, not a percentage. So if there's no critical hit, this gets to 1,000 divided by 1,000. That's 1x. If there is a critical hit, it's 1,000 plus some value divided by that. So that means that somehow this is returning 10%, which is what we gotta investigate. I think I have a feeling what it might be. So, current theory is, chat, the build-up values used to have... okay, so... the display value for critical hit is 100 plus the critical hit multiplier, so 50. But we recently changed the calculation for crit rate checks to go from like checking out of 100 to checking out of 1,000. So this might be as simple as just multiply by a factor of 10 if it's itself. Yeah, it should be 500. You're right, not like you're right. I'm just saying, like, all right. So wait, did I set that right? Oh, I need to actually attack for it to show me the value. It's not always my mistake. All right, let us take a look. Let us take a look. Let us take a look. No. Okay. Wait for it. Ah! Chat, we found it! There's the problem. There's the problem. It's multiplying by 50. Which is, I guess, getting rounded up to a 10%-ish. It does round up. That should be 500. Well, yeah, it does not what's happening, but it's not what should be happening. We need to multiply that value by 10. I think that'll solve the problem. So... critical hits.
Alright. I'll tell you the truth.
Alright, times 10.0. In theory, that should be doing 30 damage, and our axe should be doing 120 damage if we have a guaranteed crit. No, Nimelock, we can't. The reason we can't is because of the rework for elemental buildup values. So I've reworked all the elemental buildups to be something like you add to over time by doing a task based off of your damage type. And to make that be more balanceable, I opted to increase the build-up, the max build-up to 1,000 so that I could have more variance in the elemental build-up. That's why I'm dividing by 1,000 there. Since the critical hit chance is dependent on the surge value, which is an elemental build-up value. Aha! And if we do our axe, I think we fixed it, chat. I think we fixed it. The only thing I would want to check just to be absolutely certain about this. Do I still have the ability to... Yes, I do. Okay. What I'm going to do, chat, is give our axe Skull Splitter. And you might be saying, what the heck is this, Antomicx? This is a special that increases the critical hit multiplier to 3x. So... if we have this active, then we should be doing a ton of damage with crits. Okay, so now we have 300%. If this is working correctly, this will deal like 240 damage. Yo, KK, thanks for dropping by. How's it going? That's It's working, chat! We fixed it! We fixed it! It's actually working correctly. Let's go! It's working correctly. Yay! Yay! Alright. I'm so happy. Alright, I know I have to do something real quick just to reset this, so I think it's 0, 4, 0. 1, 4, 0. So it's 7, 5. No, that's not it. 3. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now it's fixed. Yep. Okie doke, chat. We finally have. So KK Spark, since you just arrived here, the damage calculations, they finally work. At least for melee weapons. Like, look at this. You want to see something glorious, KK Sparks. Did they respond? They didn't respond. Okay, 1 moment. Yeah, but this is huge, chat. This is huge. So, the huge thing I'm about to show you right now. We attacked that snake, it took 30 damage, you know, it has that amount, and the others don't respond for some reason. They're invisible, that is not correct. But we do that, you know, they're independent of each other now. They have independent health bars now. So, I still need to fix, you know, respawn mechanics. That is something I'll need to fix, but that's okay. That's workable. You know, we can work with that. We can work on that. The important thing is, finally, we've dissociated damage calculations. And implemented a rework in the process, so this is actually gonna be a decent spot to take our first break, chat. So don't worry, guys. I'll be right back. All right, chat. Welcome back, everybody. Now that our melee damage calculations are working correctly, we can. First, I'll reset our little checky counter here, since we don't want it to be messing around with things. Then oh. All right, delete that. Actually, there's one thing I do want to check, and that's on our crit value here. So I think the crit value damage bonus is working correctly, at least in melee. We do have to propagate after the other damage values. But for our own sanity, let's just add like an unusual value here, like, I don't know. Maybe like a 75 or something. So it's like some weird value. Just to make sure the damage calcs still work correctly. So, in theory, this should be around like 57 or 58% damage bonus, which on a weapon that deals 20 damage, you know, should be dealing a little over 30 as opposed to 30 itself. Because 5% out of 20 is 1. Yep, exactly. So basically, a value of 1 is equal to 0.1% bonus. So in theory... Okay, so that should... I did design it to round up, so that is correct. If we switch over to our axe... Again, going with 57.5% here. Yeah, 126 divided by... Trying to do some mental math here. So 4 would be 5%, 2 would be like 2.5%, so that is correct. Because normally we do 120, so. Good, that's working as intended. There are a couple of miscellaneous things we have to do. So first, gotta make sure this basic idea is propagated here, so making sure we're multiplying by 10.0 there. So we shall copy that. And paste that here. And here. And keep it going. And yeah, you're right on launch, exactly. So, paste that there. And this will ensure that all throughout our happy damage equations, we have the information we need for critical hit stuff. Wait. Okay, no, is that right? Something looks off here. Oh, I see what's off. It's because now we're in like the fire and I think so. It'll be a little bit more to the right there. That's okay. Alright. So we know at least a basic, you know, physical damage attacks works correctly. Important next step, we're going to check to make sure the damage still works properly if we use an infusion. So, not super relevant for the demo, but very relevant for the full game. So, I think the button to switch infusions is not that. Is it... no. One of these buttons change. There it is, 9. So, in theory, this should be dealing... Okay, so we're guaranteeing a crit. And we're multiplying basically by 50% for each of these. So it should still deal 80 damage. Well, not 80 damage, what am I saying? Should still deal 30 damage. I do find it strange. Oh. Not to say they weren't attacking me for some reason. That was weird. Anyway. That's not right. I wonder if that's just the fire, though. My guess is that's something to do with the fire. But we will have to check that. There's an easy way to check that if we just set it to... Oh, not that. That's silly. Okay. Let's set you to wind, because wind will not affect melee damage. Okay, that's what it was. It's something to do with the... I think just as another task will... Also, that's not correct. Swap you over to light damage, just for our own sanity. Nope. Go with electric damage. There's a very, very tiny chance that this will crit, but we'll check. Okay, it didn't crit, that's good. Water might actually increase the damage dealt, so... ever so slightly. Actually, wait, no, it shouldn't, because we don't have very much Riptide buildup. Let's go with... Ice will be like a crazy amount of damage, right? Yep. Okay. So, let's check these. Zero. Ceiling. Oh, I see the problem. It's a very obvious problem. I did not divide by 100. So as our experiment here, swap this over to fire damage. So in theory, this should be dealing 30 damage plus the actual 10% of the thing's max health, which is 50, so like 35 damage in theory. 34.5 apparently. Okay, that's kind of close. I think we need to round that up. Actually, what is the max HP of the Cobra? Did I set it to 50 or was it like 48 or something? Oh, it's 45, so that does... Does that math line up? Yeah, that lines up. It is actually doing 10%. Okay. Of course, we can't have decimals here. So... that should fix that. Okay, let's give this a try. Alright. And... Perfect! Exactly as intended. Alright. We'll be testing ice next. So, default test, 30, burns, 35, good. Ice, 35, lights, 30, good. Alrighty. Oh, that sounds delicious, Copper Nicholson. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So, now that we've done that, chat, what we'll do is I'll update our documentation since a couple of these equations have changed. So first, this equation has most certainly changed. Boop. Min Alright, so since this is rounding up, I do wonder... If I'm at 1,000, would that actually increase our water damage still? I think it would. That says something. Okay, so first attack should do 20, as expected. Second attack still 20. Third attack still 20. I mean, to be fair, we don't have very much build up there. So let's just set that to 250 just to see if this is actually working as intended. So in theory, since we have water, what should happen is we should be doing only more damage with future melee attacks against the enemy. So and over here so we have a good view. Normal 20, good. Still 20. Okay, let's up that up to, let's see, 500. See if that changes anything. Oh, right, they haven't responded yet. Try this again. Not seeing any build up. Okay, so that is the value should be generated. Attack all up plus. I think only a little bit, Copper Nicholson, not very much. Nope. Nope, I don't. Alright, so that's not working. Need the counter done. Or a counter. I see, governance one, I see. Okay, let's try this out. What's that? Oh, whoops, that. A different counter. I need a different counter. Alright, so that's 10,000. Never going up, is it? Reading. I'm not getting any riptide build up here. Yeah, it's still being set to 10,000. That's why we're not getting any bonus damage. Alright, so something's not quite right with how this is set up. I don't think that'll fix it, but I'll just attempt it. Yep, I think you mentioned that before, Copper Nicholson. Alright, let's take a look. Okay. Not that. Oh. Wait. No, okay, so we add that. What's the riptide value to... Now. probably just always 0. This is my test for my own sanity. If I were to add like a plus 25 here. No, plus. Let's do the 500 just for the sake of argument. That is not correct. Should not be dealing 40. Does that make any sense? Wait. 500 out of 10,000 is... Yeah, that'd be 1.05. That doesn't make any sense. Wait. Duh. I see why. Well, I see why that's happening, so... Just make sure that doesn't mess anything up. Yep. Okay, I'll remove that ceiling. I see how I see. Okay. More importantly, I'm gonna guess. Well, to be fair, isn't water yet. Jade Sisto would be million, that'd be awful. Why would you do that, Howard Nicholson? Okay. I wonder. Is that it? I did not know that, Copper Nicholson. That's not working. Wait. Doesn't make any sense. What? Everyone is... How am I rounding this up? Doesn't make any sense. Only ever once. Oh. Apply the damage. stage. Okay, I found the problem. So right now we're actually not getting any elemental buildup for some reason, even though it's being displayed, so there's some disconnect here. I'm going to have to look into this, chat. So I'll be right back. All right, chat. Did I enjoy the Mars Starship refill films? I thought they were all right. Where is it? Yeah, so what I think's happening in chat is our elemental buildups are not being written properly, I don't think. And that's causing the issue here. I think there is a downside, Copper Nicholson. So we saw in Miraculous Ladybug, whenever they tried to use the miraculous powers to do something beyond what they're meant to do, it caused an imbalance. So in Hawkmoth's case, if he tried to bring back his spouse, what would probably happen is there'd probably be some like monkey's paw effect elsewhere. So that's why it needs to be stopped. All right, so do we ever check the elemental buildup? Not seeing it here. Oh, melee weapon status for 11 is probably it. Okay, so it's being written. Let's see if, right now it's returning a 0, which doesn't make any sense. It's that menu, it's returning a 1. Percentage of water, let's make sure that this is returning stuff. Okay, it is a 1. Good. So I'm glad that we could confirm that. So that's water. Nothing. Okay. With this equation then. Theory, be a 5% increase every time we hit for water. Okay. Still 22. Alright. So it confirms that it is doing damage. It's just... probably a later equation that's causing the problem. Okay, so it's not incrementing up. That didn't do it. What could it be? I might have sticky keys on, but that's my statement one. 2. Where's it 2? Alright, so I am getting a little confused by this chat. What's supposed to happen is with any kind of status build up, you set the build up value, it gets thrown into here, build up value gets incremented by the amounts that's currently for that weapon. Then that build up value gets sent back to the enemy animations that it was attacking so that they can, of course, get that value built up for status. It just, where I'm getting confused is that it's not, doesn't seem to be changing, so that's confusing me. I don't think that'll change anything. I want to check at least. Nope. I have not gotten Nicholson. Alright. Where is it? That just needs to be flat 10% increase for some reason. Maybe that's like 2,000. That makes sense. Okay, so clearly this is a ceiling value that's happening somewhere. I think what's happening is Okay, that's what I did. Not sure we want to do it. Okay, that rounded. Whereas if we did... Actually, wait, that's not going to work. Spell decimal. I'll check this. tried a Trapper Nicholson. Alright. 0-8. This should do nothing. that works as intended. Wait, did it finally work? Hey, chat! Chat, I think I finally fixed it! I think I finally fixed it! I don't know how this I don't know why this is magically fixing it now, but it seems to be... Was it round off error or something? Or maybe it was just like the order of operations, but I don't know. Whatever the case. So, what? Okay, so... Huh, wait a minute. I'm gonna check something. I thought I fixed this. Okay, that one doesn't ever increment. Things haven't quite respawned though, so hold on. I'll reset. Need to bring these things back. I thought I fixed it. Okay. Weird. So it seems to work for everyone except that one? What? Why? I don't understand. For some reason, the one up here doesn't seem to have the build-up working correctly, but everywhere else does. Okay, so it seems like for whatever reason, the first Cobra doesn't like getting right. All the others seem to be fine with it. Weird. Okay, well, it's still progress. Wonder why it wouldn't be. Dumb idea. Let's delete that. That's probably going to be terrible, but we'll check anyway. That didn't work. Alright, what else is there? Not indexing properly. Should be. That's the for each loop. What? Alright, this is 45 health, yeah. Right. 0. What? That doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. No, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Really trying to fathom why that line's necessary. Oh, it's doing 0 damage now. Strange. All right. Alright, so I think I'll do, chat, is record record this bug in our notes as something to solve for later, and try and then call it there. We also need to adjust the lines so that they're all aligned. That stream would be what? I think that's stream. I'll have to check what the actual day is, but all right. Oh, hey, Nanolock, welcome back. Right now we're wrapping things up. So, in terms of how it's going, I was trying to solve a bug related to elemental buildup. So the idea, Nanolock, is that with this water element, consecutive hits should be causing more melee damage to be dealt, because Riptide's being built up, and that increases melee damage. The thing is, that does work, but seemingly only on every Cobra except for the first one for some reason. So watch this. Right now we're dealing 21, which is to be expected. We built it up. We attack again. Now it's 22. That's to be expected. It works on this one too. As you can see, it's building up as expected. And yet, on this one, it just kind of stays at 21. So it's not like building up. I don't quite understand why. So I have a couple of guesses as to what this could be, but it's getting way too late in the night for me to test this out. My first guess is that it has some kind of scoping issue with the for each object, and maybe involving this check. So I'd need to see if there's some way to avoid doing that and see if that's causing the issue. And then what I would try to do is, if that doesn't work, try some other things. I mean, thankfully, you know, the Riptide status isn't something that would be in the demo, but it is something that needs to be fixed for the main game if this whole, you know, mechanic is going to work. That's for all Cobras. Currently, I do need to check something. So that's 374. No, cancel. Yeah. Currently, the Cobra furthest to the front, i.e. the first Cobra, does not have the elemental of increments at all, yet all other Cobras So basically, it's just, I'm guessing it's another for each problem, but we'll have to investigate that. Idea 1. Move. Two. Note: after Riptide is fixed, all other status effect buildups equations must be altered to mimic the properly, otherwise they will not have proper Dash will speculate inside. Tail function. Result speed. Okay. Now let's just fix these lines and call it a night. I don't get the references, Copper Nicholson. Okay. I think that all makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So Fitzbug with elemental build up. New image. Ranged damage using as a template. Alright, I think I've depends on the character, Copper Nicholson. Just telling me that that doesn't really give me a lot to go off of. But anyway, I think that's enough for one night. The important thing is we scoped melee damage individually between the Cobras. That's a big deal. I'm very glad that we accomplished that. We'll just have to pick up with trying to fix the problem with status buildup in the future. It's still progress, though. Still progress. Good progress. Just gotta work out some bugs. Anyway, hey chat, if you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to... if you're watching us on Twitch, feel free to stick around for a raid, but if you're watching us on YouTube and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing on YouTube. If you're subscribed on YouTube, you can always change your mind later, as a great way to show support. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you have an amazing night.